The suspects are 18 and 19 years old. Their names have not been released because they are eligible for youthful offender status. New at 11, UB is reporting another spike in COVID-19 cases. The school says 78 people have tested positive. All but 2 of them are students, but only 40 of the 78 patients are considered to be on campus. An order from the governor requires colleges to switch to all remote learning if they hit 100 positive cases or 5% of the student population. All school districts must tell the state how many people have tested positive every day. The state health department has set up a new dashboard. This will let school districts enter data on positive tests among students and staff. A link to that dashboard must also be on every school district's website. More than a dozen black men say they were pushed out of their high-paying jobs in Buffalo schools and replaced by white workers. Most of them say they were then shut out of the district entirely. They say this happened a decade ago. And tonight, our Madison Carter continues her I-Team investigation with the response from current school district leadership.
So what does the district have to say about all of this? It originally refused to go on record, citing several pending complaints. But after those cases related to our investigation were resolved, one requiring the district to pay out a settlement, the other 4 being dismissed, our request for comment still went unanswered. So we decided to go looking for ourselves. We filed for a records request of any conversation between board members about our investigation, and this is what we found. It's a draft statement that the board decided not to send us. It reads, budget constraints along with the decline in the amount of tasks required to be performed by skilled tradesmen is the reason for the layoffs.
The men might not even understand the scope and gravity of that lie.
At the time of the layoffs, the school board was in the middle of $1.5 billion effort to renovate all city schools. It was called the Joint School Reconstruction Project.
At that time, the Joint School Construction Board was being refinanced. We had so much money left to spend that they didn't actually know how to do it, so they were getting additional work.
In the same year, Ifedibu lost his job due to budget cuts. The school board's budget shows the department paid out nearly $1.9 million in overtime.
It actually brings tears. I feel responsible for this man. It's upsetting to me. The excuses that are given, the fact that these men did everything that they were supposed to do, and they were still laid off.
After months of not getting a response, we took our questions to a school board meeting that was open to the public back in September of 2018. Ahead of this meeting, we told a board representative we were going to ask some questions about why these workers have not been rehired while the district has hired other new workers at the Plant Services Department. So from the board, I'm curious as to whether, when you have to approve these people, how that has been allowed to continue for 8 years. Members were cautioned by Superintendent Dr. Kreiner Cash before responding.
I would be careful on some of this because there are complaints that are going through a legal process.
Former Ferry District Representative and current board president Sharon Belton Cotman did decide to go on record.
I'd like to go on record to say that it has never been my intent or my understanding since I've been on the board that we as a board are functioning to try to basically eliminate positions of a certain class of people.
After the board had a chance to respond, current Superintendent Dr. Cash, who joined the district in 2015, well after the layoffs, challenged our investigation.
Okay, Madison Carter, again, a reporter, welcome the investigation, welcome getting as much information as you can. But if you foiled information, it seems to me you would wait until that time to get the facts before you share notes that, from what I heard, at least are inaccurate. I have the full data here on these kinds of issues, and that information is inaccurate.
We got that data Dr. Cash was referring to, but the record was incomplete, therefore inaccurate. At least 2 positions we confirmed were laid off were not included on the record we were given. We've asked about these discrepancies twice, but have not heard back. The men we worked with on this story say they tried for 8 years to get the attention of the school board, but got nowhere until our I-team stepped in to ask some questions. Then the response was swift.
I think we've been through maybe 2 or 3 superintendents, and everybody just laughed at us. You know, we kept talking and talking. I don't know how many people on the board, they heard this same story. They know about it.
Dr. Cash agreed to meet with the men in November of 2018 after we questioned him at the September school board meeting. Our I-team obtained some audio from that meeting.
Colleagues, I had called the meeting as a commitment following, I don't know if it was the October meeting or the September meeting, when some of you have come down and expressed some concerns, and I appreciate that. So I wanted to, because I felt the concerns, so I just wanted to have a meeting to hear them. This is a listening meeting, trying to get to what the issues are for you, give you an opportunity to fact find as well, and then see if we can continue to work on these issues.
It had been 10 years since electrician John Allen was laid off, but he didn't give up. Allen was allowed to take the civil service exam for his old position. He got his job back in September of last year. He is now only the second out of 16 workers to return to work at Buffalo's Plant Service Department after being laid off. Carpenter Mario Hall got a financial settlement for his complaint of unlawful discrimination, but he still does not have his job back.
You throw me kibbles and bits, you throw him a bone. What about the rest of the 16 guys who got laid off?
For the I-team, Madison Carter, 7 Eyewitness News.